And welcome back to more Super Mario Sunshine. So last time we collected a few more Shine Sprites in Ricco Harbor, so this time we're heading back there to collect the final major Shine Sprite there. By the way, Shadow Mario is in the plaza again, this time carrying the Turbo Nozzle, but we'll deal with him a little bit later. Episode 8, Yoshi's Fruit Adventure. So the reason I wanted to prioritize this Shine Sprite is I have no idea how long this will take. This is kind of an annoying one potentially because it's very luck dependent, so as the name implies, we need a fruit for a Yoshi. Yoshi is right over here, by the way, near the marketplace, and to get the fruit he wants, a durian, we need to ground pound these two switches on top of these fruit dispensers. The fruit dropped by the dispenser every time you hit these switches is completely random. So hypothetically, you could be here for a very, very long time. Okay, we got the durian, but it rolled off the ledge, so we'll have to keep trying. So that's one of two problems. The first problem, obviously, is the randomness. The second problem is durians. Because durians are spiky, you can't pick them up, so they tend to roll a lot. They're kind of like soccer balls in terms of having to kick them around. More on that later. So because they can roll off the side of this ledge, meaning you have to go get another durian, and the way durians are a fairly low chance, it seems, as is, this level can be really frustrating. Especially if you're trying to speedrun the game, I would imagine. I'm actually not sure if there's any way to perform an RNG manipulation on this. Overall, this was kind of slow, but I'll take it, because this can go so much worse than that. But when we kick this durian over to Yoshi, we have a purple Yoshi this time. So, the different Yoshi colors have slightly different properties. All of them can spit juice at enemies to turn them into platforms, but the platforms themselves behave differently. Purple platforms will move horizontally, while pink platforms move vertically upwards. So, luckily for us, we're not locked into a specific Yoshi color. If we eat a different fruit that corresponds to a different type of Yoshi, Yoshi will change to that color. So now we have a pink Yoshi because we ate a coconut with Yoshi. So, we can just spin jump over to these platforms, but this final jump is way too high up to make, so we need to yet again make a platform, and in this case ride it upwards towards the final area. So this cage up here with the Shine Sprite has this yellow substance on it that can only be destroyed with Yoshi's spit. So in addition to needing the platform itself, we also need Yoshi to break through. Be very careful not to fall down, because Yoshi will disappear, and then you have to get another durian and get another Yoshi. Sadly, Yoshi can't come with us through this cage, so we'll just have to collect it by ourselves. So, with Ricco Harbor taken care of for the main episodes at least, let's take down Shadow Mario over here. So, the nozzles work a little bit differently than the Yoshis. So, to unlock Yoshi, you have to complete Episode 4 of Pinna Park, and then defeat Shadow Mario for Yoshi eggs to appear in all levels. Obviously, we've seen the turbo nozzle and rocket nozzle already in levels, so they do work differently, where this is only to unlock them in Delfino Plaza. This does not have any bearing on unlocking them in the regular levels. I'm not entirely sure why it's different for the Yoshis compared to the nozzles, but I guess it's a good thing, because otherwise certain levels would be much tougher to complete if you had to actually defeat Shadow Mario first, because this also requires getting at least 25 shine sprites for Shadow Mario to appear here. Rats, and I was just about to turbo dash too. You got the turbo nozzle, press and hold ZR to zoom. Press and hold ZR to power up the turbo nozzle and do a super dash. For some reason, whenever you collect it in any area, it will give you the tutorial and save prompt every time. I'm not entirely sure why, but I assume it might be because the game doesn't know where you're going to find it first, because you can go a little bit out of order. Also, entering a level with a different nozzle than the hover nozzle doesn't matter. You will always start an area with the hover nozzle. So while this is the 4th area, we've already gotten half of the major shine sprites here, so let's continue with Pinna Park. Episode 5, The Runaway Ferris Wheel. So the Ferris wheel inside the park is visibly moving way faster than it's supposed to, so we should probably investigate and see what's going on. So this level is kind of interesting because it has a bit of an exploit. Hypothetically, it might take a really long time if you complete it the intended way. Otherwise, it's actually a really easy level. So the intended way is to go behind the Ferris wheel here and basically platform up all of these. So these green platforms will change positioning if you spray them with water, like so. I think even the hover might even work. They do work as like grating you can grab onto sideways, but you can also just hover them to move them downwards, like so. There are a lot of electrified Koopas all over the place. In this case, you have to press Y or B on GameCube to punch the opposite side, a la Super Mario World. But this is kind of an ordeal. It's a lot of work. And truth be told, I've almost never completed this level that way, because it's so much faster completing this level using the exploit I mentioned earlier. So, what we want to do is go over here near the roller coaster and go basically where the red coin shine sprite was. So, the cause of the problem is that Koopa sitting there. So instead of climbing all the way up through the backside of the roller coaster, what you can do instead is simply hover towards the right side. For some reason, there's no collision on that side, and thus you can clip straight through and skip the entirety of this platforming sequence. I've basically always done this level that way. I remember watching a speedrun years ago where they were talking about this being like a major speedrun trick, and that kind of amused me because I was like, this is how I've always done this level. I didn't really think about the intended way that much. And with that, the Ferris wheel is back to normal. By the way, that only works for the right side. If you try to fly towards the left side, you will basically run into a wall, so it has to be that side. So now that it's back to normal, we have to basically ride this up to the very top, where we can collect our Shine Sprite. But first, I wanted to point something out, because this is a great view. Super Mario Sunshine's world is interconnected. So right over there, we have a level we haven't visited, and another level we haven't visited. Over there, we can see Bianco Hills, and Ricco Harbor, and Delfino Plaza. So I really like how in most levels, you can see at least one other major area. By the way, the palm trees in the distance are also a level we'll be going to much later. But yeah, this is one of my favorite details about Super Mario Sunshine, is how the world is so connected. Even from here, you can actually see Ricco Harbor and Pinna Park. So yeah, it's just such a cool visual detail. And I can't think of that many other Mario games that have actually done that. But in any case, let's head back to Pinna Park. Episode 6, the Yoshi-Go-Round's Secret. So this level kind of breaks tradition because it's actually the first even-numbered episode in Pinna Park that doesn't have anything going on outside the park. I'm pretty sure episode 4 is actually the last major episode that takes place there. So for the remainder of this area, we'll mostly be hanging out inside the park itself. So, straight ahead, the Yoshi-Go-Round is missing a particular Yoshi. So, ow. Over here, there's an empty spot for an orange Yoshi. So, we are going over here to find a Yoshi to replace it. Over here, there's a Yoshi wanting a banana. A banana's right over here, so let's just pick this up really quickly. Carefully jump over and carry this to the egg. So, this is a pink Yoshi because we gave it a banana. This Yoshi, by the way, will request a random fruit. So sometimes if you get really lucky, you'll get a fruit that will make the Yoshi hatch as orange. But if not, you can always eat this papaya here to turn Yoshi orange, because we do need a specific color. Orange Yoshi platforms are stationary, so they won't move at all. Obviously that's not particularly helpful, but if we take the Yoshi over here... we have another secret area. This one's a little bit difficult. Actually don't think we've died yet for this playthrough, which I'm actually a little bit surprised by. We might die here, because this level can be kind of mean. Basically, moving platforms in this game can be a little bit tricky to deal with because of how grabbing ledges works. Sometimes it's very difficult to grab a ledge of a moving platform. By the way, these blue blocks here are a bit of a resting point because there's basically a wall that will knock you off if you ride these blocks too long. There's no wall for the blue ones, so use the blue blocks to kind of take a break, basically. But with that, now we're at the tougher part of the level. So we have to ride this orange block over here, and this next jump is like the worst jump of this level. Because if you grab the ledge of this, you will probably fall, so make sure to aim for the center of the platform, just to account for the weird physics of Sunshine's ledge grabbing with moving platforms. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I was worried about that wall jump because I thought it was veering to the right, so I'd fall off, but we're fine. So there are two ways to go here. We could go around using the moving block that's going up and down, or if we're feeling a little bit gutsy, we can just spin jump over here. I feel like that's another example of a level that's kind of scary on the first playthrough, but after playing this game for almost 20 years now, it's really not that bad, I find. But practice makes perfect. Episode 7, Shadow Mario in the Park. So, given how episode 1 started, this feels like a very familiar scenario, actually. But let's see what we can find. I'm also pretty sure he was standing in a fairly similar starting position, actually, in this level, in episode 1. But this time, we can actually fight him. So, this is a very standard, level. Luckily, very flat terrain, so it's not too bad. But once he starts jumping up here, things get a little bit dicier. Especially around here. So, he should go down pretty quickly. Probably doesn't have that much health left. By the way, if you take too long to talk to him, I think you can actually get back up as well. So, be very careful to run up to him as soon as you see him drop to the ground. Otherwise, you might have to redo this. Darn it all, I'll remember this. And even defeated him in the shade for once. So really quickly, we will be tackling episode 8 probably next time. It's kind of a doozy, so we'll have to wait and see. But before we end this part, I want to collect one more Shine Sprite. That's really easy to get now that we have the Turbo Nozzle. So all this takes is grabbing the Turbo Nozzle and dashing through these doors. That's literally all there is to it. Looks like we'll have to fight him again, but we'll save that for next time. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Super Mario Sunshine.